All right, let's hop in to game number 1 of our next best of 5 here. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have Team Liquid's Skillous. Looking very, very strong this year. He's had some very solid results. And, I mean, I think we're all hoping for big things for Skillous. Moving forward, he's been looking quite good. His opponent in the lower right-hand corner, I would say on the rise as far as EU Protosses go. Just this week, actually, got to the finals of an EPT EU Weekly, taking out some very strong players on the way, and looking really good lately. So, kind of excited to see what the future holds for this Protoss. In the lower right, for Starlight Twinkle, it's Krystianer. Also worth mentioning that Krystianer was the 34-time winner of the Cock of the Walk. Many of you will remember the old tournament that I ran every week, or roughly every week. We ended up with 106 Cock of the Walks, and Krystianer won 34 of them, which I feel like is a very impressive win rate for a tournament. But yeah, it was cool to see him get to the finals of the EPTU. He had been to a few finals before. He had won one of them during an event. So it was a pretty light bracket that time. But this might have been his most impressive run. I think he beat, was it Showtime and Spirit, maybe? You'd think I would remember, as I just cast this 2 days ago. But you would also then be overestimating my memory. Yeah, he beat Epic, Showtime, and Spirit to get to the finals. I feel like it's very impressive. Showtime's been looking extremely good lately, so taking him out is no easy feat. Spirit, that's just like a good win for Krystianer. Spirit is, I mean, he's like the #1 Polish player, right? So for Krystianer, a fellow Pole, got to be something nice about that. I mean, listen, I know that Krystianer has been killing it for a while. I'm just saying that he's up and coming in terms of, I feel like people are noticing him a bit more. I've never had somebody come into my chat until today and say, Krystianer might be the 4th best Protoss in Europe. That's a first today. So I feel like that's a signal that he's making a splash in a way that maybe he hasn't before. I also think it's like a consistency thing. I feel like he's been more consistent lately than in the past. Although we did see some games earlier where I felt like he was still, he still had a little bit of that old Krystianer cockiness in him. That's why he was able to win so many Cock of the Walks. Well, Edep's trying to grab a sentry. It's a little harder than before, but he's going to cancel the shade and actually go for it anyways. Oracle coming across as well. Oh, and this Oracle's just going to go straight into the main base. There is a Stalker and a shield battery here. Looks like 1 or 2 probes might go down anyways. Yeah, just the one. A couple of Adepts fell. I don't know, a little bit of a trade. Killing a sentry is always nice. Oh, and the pylon got finished here. Actually, a bit unfortunate for Skillous. He's going to lose 1 more probe. Second Oracle coming across as well. Behind this, Krystianer has the Twilight Council coming up, but Blink is already about 2/3 of the way done for Skillous. So Skillous is going to have some opportunity out on the map there with Blink, while Krystianer is, I mean, he's just going to have to be defensive. It's funny, after talking this whole broadcast about how funny it is that we barely saw any Blink play today. Like, barely saw any Blink play. And now we're finally getting, like, this is the match that I expect Blink openers from both players every game. I'm going to be surprised if somebody doesn't open Blink in one of these games. It might happen. We could see like a really cheeky Glaives opening or something. Or, I mean, even a Robo opening with some Immortals is possible. But Blink is just so common in especially European macro PvP. But we're finally getting it. As expected. Skillous' Blink is done, but he's not moving out. He's not putting pressure on. I don't know exactly if he knows. Yeah, he doesn't really know where Krystianer's tech is at. He's going to come in and see the Chrono Boost. And I mean, he might move out here, but he just saw a bunch of Stalkers and a Chrono Boosted Twilight Council, so it's probably not worth it. They're both taking third bases. It's a, I would say, very even match right now. Even like the Forge is a little bit ahead for Skillous. Very comparable. Yeah, PvP can certainly be a snooze fest in some cases. I feel like this is high enough level, though, where it's not going to be. There's a certain level of PvP that is really boring. I think we're a little bit above that level. These guys, like the Blink Micro is too good, and they know it. So they try to push what they can do with their Blink Stalkers and pick off units, and they're much more active with their units. Players that are this good. A lot of times, like players that are even just like 500 MMR below this, instead of poking with Stalkers, poking with Oracles, they'll play very defensively with these units. Skills just dodged a whole Stalker volley right there. That was pretty sick. The other side of PvP that's a lot of fun that I don't think we're gonna see in this match at all is like Korean PvP can be a ton of fun. Oh my god, my computer just had a whole conniption. Alright, we're good. We're chilling. Ah, that was scary. Computer froze for a second. Korean PvP can have a lot of cheese. Whether it's just like a classic 3-gate robo, proxy stargates, proxy gateways. It can get really wild. I really enjoy Korean PvP because a lot of times there's one base action, which just means the games just kind of pop. You know what I mean? We're just firing them off like battle aces. What strategy, dude? I'm just gonna send Stalkers at you. What are you talking about? European PvP is usually a bit more macro focused, a bit more, I mean, just like we're seeing here, right? And that can get kind of snoozy. Again, I think these guys are good enough where it'll be interesting even when there's not a ton of action. Even when it is more macro focused, there still is going to be some stuff going on, and there's always that potential that somebody finds a way in, right? Like, you're less likely to make a mistake when you're as good as these guys are. But that potential is always there. Every player can make a mistake, and that's like what you're looking for when you're poking and prodding and when you're doing little micro battles and trying to multi-prong. You're trying to make your opponent make a mistake that they wouldn't normally make. Krystianer does kind of run into Skillous' army there on the high ground. He's got to be a little careful. Skillous feeling good. It looks like he might want to counter push. He does have Archons out, which is something that I haven't seen on Krystianer's side of the map just yet. Krystianer going to send the Warp Prism in. There's a cannon here, but a few Zealots can take care of that. Stasis Wards could be really nice. There is an Observer for Skillous, and none here for Krystianer. Oh, does he not have any Observer? He's got one. Let's head across. All right, Zealot's going to dive in. Some great warp-ins from Skillous, though, and it looks like he's just going to be able to hold on to this. Pushes the Prism away, but the Prism stays alive. Oh, and Krystianer trying to chase this army right now with the Stalkers. Kind of wild. Out on the map here with these Blink Stalkers. He's got some more units back at home as well. I don't know if this is going well for Krystianer. It feels like it kind of is. I guess the trades have been in favor of Skillous. It's just the armies are like the same exact size. Actually, crazy how close they are. Okay, hold on. Skills just warped in a big round. Oh, yeah, what? So does Krystianer. The one thing here is Skillus has these Archons. Krystianer does not. Stasis trap. Ooh, is he going to get spotted? Well, looks like he's going to head down towards that fourth. But this gives a lot of surface area for Krystianer. A huge blink. Skillus has a bunch of Stalkers that are not going to be in this fight at all. A lot of probes go down, but if Krystianer can take a good fight here, it is not going to matter. Look at the army supply difference now. More Stalkers do come in, but Skillus, these Blink Stalkers are in a lot of trouble. I don't know if they're going to fully be able to get out of here. Krystianer is ready to blink on top of them. He's going to recall. Yeah, he is not getting most of those out of there. 3 escape. And Skillus has to run back home. He's down 30 army supply now. He did kill a bunch of probes. He's only up 6. That is not as big of a deal as it needs to be for a 30 army supply deficit here that Skillus has. He's going to pull home. The upgrades are the same. He just needs to defend this, but it's so much stuff for Krystianer. And Krystianer pulling back a little bit. He's going to blink on top of the Archon. Not quite going to get it, though. As Zealots get back into this 4th base, this is causing a real problem right now for Krystianer. He was looking good on the aggression, but this is being very annoying. And actually, Skillus is just focusing the base down. He is just going to get it. Granted, Krystianer does have a new base to send stuff to, and he is still pressuring on this side of the map. Skillus trying to hold on here, but the Zealots starting to overwhelm a little bit. This base, that's going to go down, and Skillus is thinking right now, he's looking at this thinking maybe it's even bases, but it is absolutely not. Krystianer has that 5th base done on the other side of the map. Not quite mining yet, but this is not a good position for Skillus. He's desperately trying to hold. He's got the shield battery. He's going to overcharge it. But I don't even know if that's going to be enough here. There's so much for Krystianer. He might be able to overwhelm with the Zealots and the Stalkers. He takes down the shield battery. Skillus is blinking backwards. He's got a cannon helping him out. This is a very cost-inefficient trade for Krystianer, who is down 17 workers on the other side of the map. He kind of needs to get stuff done here. As the Zealots went over here, too. They're getting it done, man. Krystianer's doing a great job, but he is losing a lot back at home. I feel like Skillus is still in this. I thought he was fully dead, but he is absolutely still in this. Oh my god, some force fields. What are these force fields doing? That is insane. They're working really well, too. They are blocking Skillus right back. The sentries will die, but the 3rd base is going to die. Prism's going to go down, but Krystianer, I think, is still happy to take this trade against somebody who is down 2 bases. And yeah, Skillus is just going to tap out. Krystianer takes game number 1. Got a little dicey there, though. Some good moves from Skillus, making that a lot closer at the end there than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to run the ad now so that nobody misses anything important. See, we're thinking ahead. Now we're thinking ahead. It's only in a minute and a half ad, so we're just going to get into map 2. I don't think they're going to miss too much. All right. Let's hop on in here, and I have to go check on something real quick, make sure we're all good. Okay, sorry about that. We are all good. I heard weird noises. It was a cat being cute. Let's get into game number 2. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have Starlight Twinkle's Krystianer. Again, looking quite strong here against what some might say is the 2nd best Protoss in Europe. In the upper right for Team Liquid, it is Skillus. All right, I have scooped the cat up. I apologize if my observing is bad while I hold cat. Oh. Cat farted. All right. Cat has been put down because he farted and he's smelly. Stinky boy. All right, game number 2 here. Neither of these players I would particularly expect to go for like a low ground wall here. We do still have a couple players who do that. Who did that against Max Packs recently, actually? I feel like it was one of these guys. Oh, no, maybe it was... No, it wasn't Gerald. Gerald wouldn't have done that. Gerald hates going for the low ground 1 gate. I feel like it was one, if not both of these guys. Recently, when they play against Max Packs, will do like a low ground single gate, but only against Max Packs. It's kind of fun. Kind of fun little thing that happens. Krystianer with the double adept. Skillus with 1 adept. And then into a single stalker and straight to the Nexus. Nexus before the next 2 units. Whereas Krystianer, it feels like, is getting a bit more aggressive. You know what I miss? I miss the Krystianer PvP build. I don't know if it'd still be good. But he used to have this build back in the day. I was such a killer, particularly against people who were like a little bit lower level than him. It was such like a skill test in the early game. He would hit with 2 adepts, 4 stalkers, and 2 oracles. And the versatility of that unit composition was so good against like just early game units. Because if you split off too many units into the main to deal with the oracles would just hit the front with the rest of the units and kill whatever was there. As that single adept does sneak in and get 2 probes. But then if you brought everything down front, then the oracles would just go in the main. And the shade of the adepts might be able to sneak in there too. And suddenly you were in trouble that way. It was a really cool way to like put some pressure on and put a skill test to your opponent in the early game. And he hasn't done this in like a million years, but it was fun. He is going to put some pressure on though. He's got a proxy pylon here for some slow warp-ins. He lost 3 probes back at home. But he looks like he wants the pressure anyways. Skillus, very heavy on the shield batteries here. 3 shield batteries. The adepts are going to try to shade forward, but they will be blocked. Another sentry warps in with a zealot. Look at Skillus' little setup here. I love the sentries, like equidistantly spaced. That's so cute. The adept's going to finish that shade. Probes will run away. Force field's getting dropped here. I feel like this was an ill-advised push in from Krystianer. Can he at least get some kills to trade these out? Not a ton more force fields available, but you know what? Not too terrible of a trade. Not as bad as I thought. And Skillus wasn't focused on this. He's going to block that Immortal in. Well, the Immortal does get out. Loses another Stalker, though, so resources lost trades a little more evenly. Krystianer's Nexus was quite a bit later, but we see he's evened up on the worker count. And because he caused some lost mining time, it's a slight advantage for Skillus. And we're just kind of back to even. So this at least did, I guess, what it needed to do. Skillus behind this, just pumping out Immortals right now. I think Skillus found that pylon. Oh, yeah. I think he surmised there might be a pylon there. Krystianer still has his Stalker army out here, but Blink's pretty far away, so not going to be too much of a threat. Now we get to see Skillus not go for Blink's Blink opener. Kind of what I was talking about before, how common that is, but this is the other thing that we do see players go for. Going to be Robo first. Still a pretty powerful opening. Does have to be careful, though, as Blink is on the way, but he's going to try to hit before that is done, before it is ready. I think he just scouted. Yeah, he scouted that there's a Twilight Council, so he knows that's a possibility. Oh, Stalkers are going to go in. Oh, my God, they've caught this army out. Or have they been caught out? Oh, Krystianer trying to micro here, but a lot of move command. He's going to go for a recall on part of the Stalkers, leaving the other Stalkers behind. The double Immortal is here in the main, though. Just kind of focus on a gateway right now. Skills needs to get in and get something else done. A pylon is nice. Some probes would be real nice. The Stalkers are here, though. Skills doesn't know exactly where Blink is. Oh my God, that Prism. Oh my God, that Prism. He's got to leave that Immortal to die. Yep. You know what? Good work there from Krystianer. Forcing that Prism to run away. Super low now. And it looked like Skills wanted to push the front at the same time, but he is not quite going to be able to do so. Gonna have to run home. And Krystianer puts another pylon over here. I love it. I love like where it's positioned too, because I feel like there might be like a Prism trying to leave this way that could see it if it was up here. Oh, he's gonna proxy a gateway. Oh, never mind. Krystianer's going fully all in. I thought he was gonna drop down a third shortly, but nope. Nope. Who needs a third base when you can just put 2 more gateways down? And just warping a bunch of Blink Stalkers. He does have some sentries as well. Pretty high on energy. That's gonna force Skillis to micro a lot with this Prism. That's a low Prism. That could get blunked on very, very easily. Observer here for Skillis is going to be crucial at spotting some stuff coming from the left-hand side, but so far he hasn't seen anything. The Stalkers show up. Force Field goes down to try to segment him off from the Nexus. The Nexus is getting hit. Shield Battery dies. There's a cannon on the way. Just Force Fields. Just Force Fields. Krystianer gets the Nexus, blinks out, pops the Guardian Shield to buy as much time as possible. That's so cute. Look at how long these sentries are staying alive. And at the same time, oh, what's that? 2 Adepts sneaking in, getting a couple of kills, shading into the main base. This is going quite well for Krystianer. Now, granted, his third isn't done yet, but fully killing a third, getting in, getting some probe damage done. 5, 6 probes dying here. This is really, really nice. Stalkers do have to be a little bit careful. Getting a little bit raunchy there. But he's got a proxy gateway done. He can keep warping in offensively. Going to shade in 2 more depths. Skillis out on the map a little bit here. He could try to run across the map, get a little counter damage done, but got to worry about that Blink Stalker counterattack. I think he just spotted some of these Stalkers walking by. Stalker's in a good position here. Krystianer actually can't see that, I think, from where he was. Kind of a weird spot in the fog of war there. Or in the, was it like the steam vent kind of thing? Skillis has his own Blink, so he's going to try to take advantage of the fact that he has Blink and 4 Immortals. There's no charge here for Krystianer. And in fact, he doesn't have a shield battery to blink back to. And that's a big problem for him. He's going to try to hit around the backside. Skillis, though, I think is prepared for this. Oh, that Prism. Skillis is going to get the counter damage. He's going to kill the third. Krystianer, his aggression was good, but his defense not quite strong enough. Skillis' army has a little bit too much punch to it. Super Shield Battery turns on, but there's no units for it to help. And now Krystianer is down 13 workers. Now he's down a base once again. He doesn't really have much of any advantage at all. He's a little bit up in supply. Skillis is going to hang back. He's going to turn on his Guardian Shield, and he's going to fight here. Prism gets taken down. Immortal's getting targeted. There's a lot of Stalkers from Krystianer. He's going to take down every single Immortal. And Skillis is just going to have to blink backwards and trade as cost efficiently as possible here. Oh, man, the blink micro is so good for both of these players. Skillis is going to get a lot of these Stalkers out of there. Look at her just blinking him forward as soon as possible. It's crazy. There you go. He misses one. Krystianer catches up. Krystianer is up in army supply right now. Warping in more Stalkers over here, which Skillis is spotting. Oh, Skillis is going to try to catch some of these Stalkers. Oh, I don't think he can afford to go out there. He's got shield battery and cannon back here. He's got another immortal popping out. I heard that immortal ready to serve once again. I think Skillous can hold on to this counterattack, and that's a big problem for Krystianer, who does not have a third behind this. It feels like Skillous can hold here. It's so close. Oh, Skillous has +1, though. Yeah, with the shield batteries defensively, I think he's going to have just enough to make it happen. And I think we're going to be going to a tied-up series off the back of this, because if Krystianer can't break him here, he's not going to be able to break him. Neuro, thank you so much for the raid, my friend. Welcome in, Neuro viewers. Be good to have some respectful people in the chat, unlike my chat up to now. GG gets called, as Skillous does, in fact, take that game number 2. Neuro, I hope you had a wonderful stream. Hope everybody from Neuro's channel is having a good old time. I'm assuming if you were up playing at this time of night, that it was some Dota 2. M. Canning also raiding. Oh my god. Coming in with the double raid. MCAN, thank you so much for that, my dude. I haven't got an MCAN raid in... It's been years. It's been years. I hope you had a lovely stream. I feel like I just said all this. Everybody from MCanning stream, welcome in. I hope you all had a great time watching MCanning. I don't know, what was he doing these days? I haven't been doing MCAN stream in a hot minute. You know, what's he up to? I demand a pistol duel for that insult. That was mostly aimed at Shifty for you one time. Wasn't playing Drawy, that's for sure. Oh, no, dude. Oh, no. Sag. 90 Day Fiancé? GeoGuessr? Actually, we don't like GeoGuessr here. I do believe they gave me a refund, but they charged me $60 and deleted my account. So I couldn't unsubscribe and I couldn't ask for a refund. I had to like, it took me like days. He's beating up a Korean ladder? Dude, that's what we like to see. KR is EZ, dude. We love to see North America rocking up the Korean ladder. Welcome everybody, I'm Chickenman. If you already know, I cast StarCraft sometimes, not like a ton, but sometimes. Been doing it a while. Hit the follow button, please. We're on a last cast of the day. It's a best of 5 between Skillous and Krystianer. We're hopping in to game 3. We are no longer chicken bros. So sorry, Shifty, for you one time. So sorry. I'm not sorry. Let's get into game number 3. All right. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the red Protoss for Starlight Twinkle, Krystianer. Started off strong with a game 1 win. Some good moves last game, but that counterattack was a little too good. His opponent lower right for Team Liquid is Skillous. Chickenman versus Pig. Well, we'd have to play not StarCraft because I think we could probably play about 100 games of StarCraft against each other, and I would win 0. We could try it, though. Just play 100 games of StarCraft against each other. Pig plays random. Honestly, I'd probably play random, too. Random versus random. And see if I could win one. I might be able to do it. I might be able to take 1 out of 100 games off a Pig. I'd have to get really lucky with the cheese, though. I think I'd have to cheese, like, pretty much every single game. I'm never going to win a macro game against that man. Pig might get disconnected. That's true, H.A. Fatoon. That's true. That's true. No, Pig and I would have to play a different game. Something else. What could I beat Pig at? I'm not really sure. He's like really athletic, so anything physical, he's probably got me covered. He's really just good at video games in general, or at least like RTS kind of video games. I feel like even if we played like a Stormgate or a Battle Aces or something, like he would for sure beat me in those most of the time. Like, I don't know. Force him to play on EU. Yeah, but then we both have ping. He plays from Australia, man. He's a professional at playing with 300 ping. A chicken eating contest? Okay, I do actually think I could. I think that would be a fair fight. I think an eating contest between Pig and I might be fair. Also, I gotta say, I've seen him dance. He would trounce me in a dance-off. Absolutely no shot I could take him in that. He's just really, like, he's just good at things. You know when those people in life who are, like, really talented and also really good looking, and you kind of want to hate them, but they're also the kindest and nicest person you know. They're just like a genuinely good person, solid moral center, again, just kind, but also extremely talented and good looking and like humble. And it's like annoying, but also you love them because they're just amazing people. That's Pig. That's like Pig in a nutshell right there. Actually, hold on. This is Pig in a nutshell.
Help, I'm Pig and I'm trapped in a nutshell. Help, I'm Pig. I'm an Australian, I'm trapped in a nutshell, mate.
I don't know how to transition out of this. Let's talk about this game of StarCraft. Krystianer trying to be annoying with the 8 Adept opening here. Gonna get a couple of probes, it looks like. Ooh, Oracle tries to sneak in as well. And gets a third one. Let's take a look, take stock. Dead even trade on resources. A little more gas here for Skillless Lost because the 2 sentries. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty very even trades. I don't know what else to say about that. Krystianer's a bit behind on Blink research, so Skills is going to have that first. But as we saw in game 1, it's probably not going to mean much in this game. Second Oracle can mean something, though. Skills is going to have to play pretty defensively with 2 Oracles around. Even with Blink Stalkers, these things are dangerous. Oh, that's true. If we did a karaoke contest, dude, I got him covered. I got him covered. Actually, I've never heard him sing. That's one of those things about somebody like Pig, is I'll be like, dude, there's no way he can be good at this thing. And then it turns out he's like really good at it. Like I could see him just being like a really solid singer. I don't know. I've never heard him sing. So maybe. Alright, players taking third bases. Looks like we're chilling. No big 2-base all-in from Krystianer this game. I feel like the macro game gonna fit him a little better. He's looked really good in these macro PvPs lately. I did a terrible Pig impression at the SC2 Safe House event. Steadfast and I cast like an entire game of the finals just in maybe the worst 2 Aussie accents you've ever heard in your life. It was pretty bad. I listened to a little bit of it, and Whew, boy, I don't usually cringe when I listen to myself cast. Like, I've been doing this a while. I've edited a lot of hours of videos of myself casting. I'm pretty used to it. But listening to Steadfast and I do our Aussie accents, I was cringing. It was big cringe. It was painful. I think it was funny, but it was definitely painful. Skill is going for a Glaive's follow-up here. I love this. I love that this has become part of the meta, is the Glaved Adepts kind of instead of charge lots, right? Obviously, they're a little bit more expensive, but they're so good. I don't remember who I was casting recently. It might have been like Classic Creator. And yeah, it was. Classic went for Glaive Adepts, and Creator went for charge lots. Creator had like more army, a better engagement setup. I think he had shield batteries. And Classic's army just dumpstered him. It was like there's just nothing left. The Zealots disappeared in like 2 seconds. And that's the thing, is a big part of what the charge lots are supposed to do is stay alive for a long time so your units can get damage done behind them. Right? They're kind of tanky units. But if the Glaive Adepts just trash them, even though the Glaive Adepts aren't that great, all of a sudden, like, your whole plan is gone. Oh, Skillus with the moves, dude. I just asked the other day if that was possible, and here we are seeing Skillus do it. Blinking out of this stasis trap. Beautiful stuff. Huge Adept Shade, Adept Warp in here as Glaze finishes up. There's not even charge lots yet. Skillus, he's just going in against the Stalkers with the Glaive Adepts. Stalker's not particularly quick at killing Adepts. Another blink forward from Skillus. He's just triggering these with one unit at a time. There is another one back here. Could cause some problems for him, but no, never mind, it's not going to. Krystianer turns on the overcharged shield battery to try to stay alive a little bit longer, as it looks like he has killed most of the Adepts, and it's just going to be Stalkers against Stalkers with the one Immortal back here, putting out a little bit extra DPS. The army supply is slightly in Skillus' favor as they warp in here. Krystianer putting down some more stasis traps, just trying to keep as many of these units occupied as possible. Even if it's just one Stalker at a time, that's better than nothing for these Oracles to be doing. But I don't think Krystianer is going to have enough here. It looks like Skillus is going to be able to overpower him just by simply building a lot of gateways and warping in a lot of these units. The Glaive Adepts, but of course the Stalkers behind them are the real story. Probe's getting pulled, but the GG's getting called here as Skillus goes up 2-1 in this best of 5. That was the best casting you've ever heard, with Dave and I doing our pig accents. You know what? I'm gonna have to reach out to Dave next time we're both casting the same, like, weekly. We might have to bring it back at some point. A little Aussie casting. There's no way it'll ever be as rowdy as it was on that couch, though, man. I don't even think we weren't even like drunk. We might have had like a drink or two, but we really weren't even drunk. Just, you know, that energy when you're with a bunch of friends, you start getting rowdy and you kind of rile each other up. That was a good time. That was a good time. All right, let's hop in a game. Number 4 here. Actually, before we get started on this, I'm going to run an ad so that it doesn't run in the middle of this game. So we're just going to chill for a minute in silence, apparently. I'm just going to give it a little bit. If anybody's watching the ad, they'll miss the very start of this game. I don't think it'll matter too much. You saw Dave Testa cast an entire series drunk while playing guitar. That does sound like a very Dave Testa thing to do. You know what? I'm actually going to go get some water while we wait for this ad. We'll get into this game very shortly. Now that you guys had to listen to dead silence for a while, let's go ahead and get into the game. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Site Delta, a map I don't think we've seen today in all of the games that we've cast. We have Krystianer, who is now staring down the face of needing to win 2 games in a row for this series. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner started out a little rough, but he's now on match point. It's Team Liquid's Skillous. Dave always looks high to you. You mean Steadfast? He's got that vibe, doesn't he? I feel like especially when he's casting at home, he like is usually tired because he casts so much. And he's got that chill Canadian guy personality, which I feel like lends itself to it. I really do feel like it's often that he's super tired from casting for 70 hours in a week or something ridiculous. And then he's like, I'll play a game after. It always boggles my mind when he's like, I'm going to play a ladder game after casting for 12 hours. I'm like, dude, I don't even want to play a ladder game on a fresh brain, let alone the exhausted mind. I mean, weed's legal in Canada. He could be high all the time. I have no idea. Ooh, we getting spicy. Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a bit of a one-base play here from Skillous, who's getting blocked. And he saw this Nexus going down, and he said, I'm going to attack you. Krystianer is scouting around. Looks like he's checking for something because he sees, hey, there's not much here, and you're letting me just be annoying. What could you possibly be doing? But he's not checking down here, where there is a gateway on the way. I am kind of imagining Skillous is going to drop a pylon up here. I feel like this is the kind of thing where you want to like try to get shield batteries up here, but I guess not. Krystianer still hasn't scouted this. Oh, is that a robo as well? Proxied robo. Krystianer's got his own robo right here in the wall. He's got a shield battery. Oh, he's scouting for this. He's just not spotting it. It's actually so painful.
They're attacking your probes. Watch your mineral line.
Oh, are you kidding me? How did that stalker not see that? I mean, he knows something is coming. The problem here for Krystianer is he just doesn't quite know what. He's really looking for it, but he's looking in the sneaky places. He's not expecting it to be directly in front of his base. He is chrono boosting out an Immortal. That's exactly what he needs to be doing right now. I feel like a second pylon back here wouldn't be a terrible idea. Something to keep that robo powered. Got 2 more gates coming up in the main base. He's not exactly sure what he's up against, but he knows he needs stuff. Skillous is going to be sending these Adepts forward. I don't know if Krystianer is going to be fully prepared for. He doesn't have anything to deal with these Adepts. He's going to have to run everything back up. And 3 Adepts getting in can kill a lot of probes very quickly. That also means these Stalkers can just start hitting the front. Oh, the Immortal is here as well. That shield battery is as good as dead. The Adepts can shade back down. The pylon goes down. And Krystianer goes down. Just taps right on out. Not a single G in sight as Skillous closes out the series 3-1 to move on in the lower bracket of the OSC Mid-Season Playoffs. GG.